It says we're going live. Uh, we're seeing this. It says we're going live. Uh, we're seeing this. Okay. Hi, everyone. Dave Kowarsky here, co-founder of Worlds Elsewhere Theater Company, and on behalf of the company, welcome to the first major production in our 2021 season. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, Worlds Elsewhere is a socially distant, socially responsible theater company established in May of 2020. Our first major show was a charity fundraiser where we, with the assistance of you, our audience, raised over $5,000 for bail and mutual aid funds across the country. We had a great time helping people and are looking forward to doing more. At least one show per year will have a particular charity focus, and we're already pursuing our formal nonprofit status to streamline our charitable efforts in the future. It is our fervent hope to run our shows generally on a pay-what-you-want basis. To those of you who have already purchased your tickets, thank you for your support. For those of you who have not, if you would like to support us, support our mission, support our performers, we invite you to click the link at the top of the description below and purchase a ticket. Now, you can no longer purchase tickets for March 20th, but until intermission, if you purchase a ticket for the April 20th show at a price of $15 or more, we will send you the link and password to join the performers Zoom at the end of the show for a talkback where you'll be able to interact with some of the cast and crew. And if you're watching the recorded version of the show before April 20th of 2021, you're still able to buy a ticket at any price to show your support. And whenever you're watching this, we hope we've made it easy for you to figure out ways to support us. If nothing else, like the video, click that subscribe button so you never miss any Worlds Elsewhere news, follow us on all the social medias, and now, enjoy the show.
Woohoo! Hence! Home, you idle creatures! Got you home!
You! Sir, what trade are you?
My trade, sir, is one I hope I may use with a safe conscience, which is indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls.
Thou art a cobbler, art thou?
Ah, truly, sir.
But wherefore art not in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
Truly, sir. To wear out their shoes and bring me into more work. But, indeed, sir, today we make holiday to see Caesar and rejoice in his triumph.
Wherefore rejoiced? What conquest brings ye home? You blocks, you stones, you worse and senseless things. Knew you not Pompey? Many a time and oft have you climbed up to the walls and battlements to see great Pompey pass through the streets of Rome. When you saw his chariot but appear, have you not made a universal shout? Do you not call out a holiday? Do you now strew flowers in the ways of he that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood?
We do.
Speak on! Run to your houses, fall upon your knees.
See whether their basest metal be not moved. They vanish tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Go you down towards the Capitol. This way will I. Disrobe the images if you do find them decked with ceremonies.
May we do so?
No matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. I'll about and drive away the vulgar from the streets. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make it fly in ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness?
Calpurnia.
Here, my lord.
Stand you directly in Antonius's way when he doth run his course.
I shall remember. When Caesar says do this, it is performed.
Set on and leave no ceremony out.
Caesar!
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than all the music cries Caesar. Oh, speak. Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Beware the Ides of March.
He's a dreamer. Let us leave him. Pass!
Go you to see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you, do.
Let me not hinder, Cassius. Your desires, I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eye that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend who loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, but let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one, nor construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus with himself at war forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, good Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other thing.
'Tis just. And 'tis very much lamented that you have no such mirror as would show your hidden worthiness into your eye.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since, you know, you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of.
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
I do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius, yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, put honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. For let the gods speed me, as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you or other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as lief not be, as live to be in awe of such a thing as I myself. I was born as free as Caesar. So were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. So indeed he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it with lusty sinews, throwing it aside and stemming it with hearts of controversy. But ere we could arrive, the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink." I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, so from the waves of Tiber did I, the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god. And Cassius is a wretched creature and must bend his body if Caesar carelessly but nod on him. Ye gods, it doth amaze me that a man of such feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world and bear the palm alone.
Do you believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar?
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings, Brutus and Caesar. Be in that, Caesar. Why should his name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is as fair a name. Sound them, it doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them, it is as heavy. Conjure with them, Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. Now, in the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth this, our Caesar, feed, that he has grown so great? Age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. When could they say till now that talked of Rome, that her wide walls encompassed but one only man? Now it is Rome indeed, and room enough when there is in it but one only man. Oh, you and I have heard our fathers say there was a Brutus once that would have brooked the eternal devil to keep his state in Rome so easily as a king.
That you do love me, I am nothing jealous. What you would work me to, I have some aim. How I have thought of this and of these times I shall recount hereafter. For this present I would not, so with love I might entreat you be any further moved. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear, and find a time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I'm glad that my weak words have struck but such much show of fire from Brutus.
Brutus reporting.
As they move by, pluck Casca by the sleeve.
I will do so, but look you, Cassius, the angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look like a hidden train.
Antonius?
Caesar!
Let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men in such a sleep at nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He's a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were fatter. But I fear him not. Yet if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much, he's a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if he mocked himself and scorned his spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he be never at heart's ease whiles they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear. For always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this ear is deaf, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of him.
You pulled me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca, tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what had chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand thus. And then the people fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the third cry for?
Why, for that too.
Who presented him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown, yet 'twas not a crown, 'twas one of these coronets. And as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then he offered it to him again. Then he put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. And then he offered it the third time. He put it by the third time by, and still, as he refused it, the rabblement hooted and clapped their chapped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps, and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown that it had almost choked Caesar. For he swooned and fell down at it, and for mine own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and taking in the bad air.
But soft, I pray you, what did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace and foamed at the mouth and was speechless.
'Tis very like he hath the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not, but you and I and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down.
And after that he came thus sad away.
Aye.
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I'll tell you that, I'll ne'er look you in the face again. But those that understood him smiled and smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. I could tell you more news too. Morellus and Flavius, for pulling scarves off Caesar's images, are put to silence. Fare you well, there was more foolery yet, if I could remember it.
Will you dine with me tonight, Casca?
No, I am promised forth.
Will you sup with me tomorrow?
Aye. If I be alive and your mind hold and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell, both.
What a blunt fellow is this grown to be. He was quick mettle when he went to school.
So is he now in execution of any noble and bold enterprise. This rudeness is but a sauce to his good wit, which gives men stomach to digest his words with better appetite.
So it is. For this time, I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will come home to you. Or, if you will, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Huh. Well, Brutus, thou art noble, yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. Therefore it is meet that noble minds meet ever with their likes, for who's so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now, and he were Cassius, he should not then humor me. I will tonight, in many hands, and at his windows throw, as if they came from several citizens' writings, all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein, obscurely, Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
Even Casca? Brought you Caesar home? Why are you breathless, and why stare you so?
Are you not moved when all the sway of earth shakes like a thing unfirm? Oh, Cicero, I have seen tempests when the scolding winds have rived the knotty oaks, and I have seen the ambitious ocean swell and rage and foam to be exalted with the threatening clouds. But never till tonight, never till now did I go through a tempest dropping fire. And yesterday the bird of night did sit even at noonday upon the marketplace, hooting and shrieking. When all these prodigies do so conjointly meet, let not men say these are their reasons, they are natural. For I believe these are portentous things unto the climate that they point upon.
Indeed. It is a strange disposed time. But men may construe things after their fashion, clean from the purpose of the things themselves. Good night, good Casca. This disturbed sky is not to walk in.
Farewell, Cicero.
Who goes there?
A Roman.
Casca, by your voice.
Your ear is good. Cassius, what night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens menace so.
Those that have known the earth so full of faults. For my part, Casca, I have walked about the streets, submitting me unto the perilous night, and thus unbraced, Casca, as you see, did bear my bosom to the thunderstone. And when the cross-blue lightning did seem to open the breast of heaven, I did present myself, even in the aim and very flash of it.
But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? It is the part of men to fear and tremble when the most mighty gods by token send such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
You are dull, Casca, and those sparks of life that should be in a Roman you do want, or else you use not. You look pale and gaze, and put on fear, and cast yourself in wonder at the strange misfortune of the heavens. But if you would consider the true cause, why all these fires? Why all these gliding ghosts? Why birds and beasts from quality and kind? Why old men fool and children calculate? Why all these things change from their ordinances, their natures, and preformed faculties to monstrous quality? Why, you shall find that heaven hath infused them with these spirits to make them instruments of fear and warning unto some monstrous state. Now could I, Casca, name to thee a man much like this dreadful night, a man no greater than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown, and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is. For now, Romans have thews and limbs like to their ancestors, but woe the while. Our fathers' minds are dead.
Indeed. They say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king. And he shall wear his crown by sea and land and in every place save here in Italy.
I know where I will wear this dagger then. That part of tyranny that I do bear I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man. I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. Those that will with haste make a mighty fire, begin it with weak straw. What trash is Rome? What rubbish and what awful when it serves as the base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar.
Hold my hand. Be factious for redress of all these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Now know you, Casca, I have moved already some certain of the noblest-minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence. And I do know by this, they stay for me.
Stand close a while, for here comes one in haste.
'Tis Cinna. I know him by his gait. He is a friend. Cinna! Where haste you so?
Find you out. Who's this?
Why, it is Casca, one incorporate to our attempts. Am I not stayed for?
Yes, you are. Oh, Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our calling.
Be you content. Good Cinna. Take thou this paper, and look you, lay it in the praetor's chair, where Brutus may but find it. That done, repair to Pompey's theater. Come, Casca, you and I will yet ere night see Brutus in his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire, upon the next meeting, yields him ours.
Oh, he sits high in the people's hearts. And that which would appear offense in us, his countenance, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and to worthiness.
Him and his worth and our great need of him you have right well conceded. Let us go, for it is after midnight, and ere day we will see him and be sure of him.
What, Lucius? Oh! I cannot, by the progress of the stars, give guess how near today. Lucius, I say! Would it were my fault to sleep so soundly. When? Lucius, when? Awake! I say what? Lucius!
Called you, my lord.
Get me a taper in my study, Lucius. When it is lighted, come and call me here.
I will, my lord.
It must be by his death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him, but for the general. he would be crowned. How that might change his nature bears the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder, and that craves wary walking. Crown him? That? And then, I grant, we put a sting in him that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affections swayed more than his reason, but 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face. But when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may. Then, lest he may, prevent. And therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would, as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
The taper burneth in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper thus sealed up, and I am sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Get you to bed again, it is not yet day. Is not tomorrow, boy, the Ides of March?
I know not, sir.
Look in the calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
Brutus, thou sleepst, awake. Shall Rome, etc. speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepst, awake. Shall Rome, thus I must piece it out. Shall Rome stand under one man's awe? What, Rome? My ancestors did from the streets of Rome the Tarquin drive when he was called a king. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise. If the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March has wasted 14 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate, somebody knocks. Since Cassius first did wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasma or a hideous dream.
Sir, 'tis your brother Cassius at the door, who doth desire to see you.
Is he alone?
No, sir, there are more with him.
Do you know them?
No, sir. Their hats are plucked about their ears, and half their faces buried in their cloaks, that by no means I may discover them by any mark of favor.
Let him enter. They are the faction. Oh, conspiracy! Shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night when evils are most free?
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I have been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men who come along with you?
Yes, every man of them. And no man here but honors you, and every one doth wish you had but that opinion of yourself which every noble Roman bears. This is Trebonius.
He is welcome hither.
This Decius Brutus.
He is welcome too.
This Casca, this Cinna, and this Metellus Cimber.
They are all welcome. Give me your hands, all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse, if these be motives weak, break off betimes, and every man hence to his idle bed, so let high-sighted tyranny range on. Swear priests and cowards and men cautelous, old feeble carrions, and such suffering souls that welcome wrongs, unto bad causes spare such creatures as men doubt. But do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise to think that or our cause or our performance did need an oath. When every drop of blood that every Roman bears, and nobly bears, is guilty of a several bastardy, if he do break the smallest particle of any promise that hath passed from him.
But what of Cicero? Shall we sound him? I think he will stand very strong with us.
Let us not leave him out.
No, by no means.
Oh, let us have him. For his silver hairs will purchase us a good opinion, and by men's voices to commend our deeds. It shall be said his judgment ruled our hands. Our youths and wildness shall no whit appear, but all be buried in his gravity.
Oh, name him not. Let us not break with him, for he will never follow anything that other men begin.
Then leave him out.
Indeed, he is not fit.
Shall no man else be touched, but only Caesar?
Decius, well urged. I think it not meet Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find in him a shrewd contriver, and you know his means, if he do grow them, may stretch so far as to annoy us all, which, to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, to cut the head off and then hack the limbs, like wrath in death and envy afterwards. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar, and in the spirit of men there is no blood. Oh, that we then could come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. But, alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And, gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds, which, so appearing to the common eyes, we shall be called purgers, not murderers. And for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I do fear him, for in the engrafted love he bears to Caesar.
Alas, Cassius, do not think of him. If he loves Caesar, all that he can do is to himself give thought and die for Caesar.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he'll live and laugh at this hereafter.
The clock hath stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
Yet it is doubtful still whether Caesar will go forth today or no, for he is superstitious grown of late, quite from the opinion that he once held of fantasy, of dreams and ceremonies. It may be that these apparent prodigies, the unaccustomed terror of the night, and the persuasion of his augurers may hold him from the capital today.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can o'ersway him. For he loves to hear that unicorns may be betrayed with trees, and bears with glasses, elephants with holes, lions with toils, and men with flatterers. But when I tell him he hates flatterers, he says he does, being then most flattered. Let me work, for I can give his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital.
Nay, we will all of us be there to fetch him.
By the 8th hour, is that the uttermost?
Be that the uttermost, and fail not then.
Caius Legarius doth bear Caesar hard, who rated him for speaking well of Pompey. I wonder none of you have thought of him.
Now, good Metellus, go along by him. He loves me well, and I have given him reasons. Send him but hither, and I'll fashion him.
Morning comes upon. We'll leave you, Brutus, and friends, disperse yourselves, but remember what you have said, and show yourselves true Romans.
Good gentlemen, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes. And so, good morrow to you, every one. Boy! Lucius! Fast asleep? It is no matter.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to the raw cold morning.
Nor for yours neither. You've ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of humor, which sometime hath his hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep. And could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
Right, so I do, good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What, is Brutus sick, and will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees, I charm you by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me, yourself, your half, why you are heavy, and what men tonight have had resort to you, for here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself but, as it were, in sort or limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus' harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were so, then I should know this secret. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels, I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
Oh, ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Hark, one knocks. Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee, all the charactery of my sad brows. Leave me with haste. Lucius, who's that knocks?
He is a sick man that would speak with you.
Caius Legarius, that Metellus speak of. Boy, stand aside. Caius Legarius! How?
Vouchsafe a good morrow from a feeble tongue.
Oh, what a time if you chose out brave Caius to wear a kerchief when you were not sick.
I am not sick. If Brutus have in hand any exploit worthy the name of honor.
Such an exploit have I in hand, Legarius, had you a helpful ear to hear of it.
By all the gods that Romans bow before, I here discard my sickness. Soul of Rome, brave son, derived from honorable loins. Thou, like an exorcist, hast conjured up my mortified spirit. Now, bid me run, and I will strive with things impossible, yea, get the better of them. What's to do?
A piece of work that will make sick men whole.
But are not some whole that we must make sick?
That must we also. What it is, my Caius, I shall unfold to thee as we are going to whom it must be done.
Set on your foot, and with a heart new fired, I follow you. To do I know not what, but it sufficeth that Brutus leads me on.
Follow me, then.
Nor heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Oh, Caesar shall forth. The things that threaten me ne'er looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within, besides the things that we have heard and seen, count sights most horrid seen by the watch. Fierce, fiery warriors fought upon the clouds. The noise of battle hurtled in the air, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided whose end is proposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth, for these predictions are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards may die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that yet I have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. What say the augurs?
They would not have you to stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate House, and he shall say that you are not well today. Let me, upon my knee, prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say, I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home. Here's Decius Brutus, he shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail! Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate House.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greetings to the senators and tell them that I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not, falser. I will not come today, tell them so, Decius.
Say he is.
Oh, shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arms so far to be afraid to tell graybeards the truth? Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statue, which like a fountain with 100 spouts did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue, spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathed, signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and that great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This by Calpurnia's dream is signified.
And this way have you well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say. And know it now, the Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid? Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love, to our proceeding bids me tell you this, and reason to my love is viable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I am ashamed I did yield to them. Give me my robe, for I will go. Oh, and look where Publius is come to fetch me.
Good morrow, Caesar.
Good morrow, Publius. Oh, what Brutus are you stirred so early to? Good morrow, Casca. Pious Legarius. Caesar was ne'er so much your enemy as that same ague which hath made you lean. What is it o'clock?
Caesar 'tis struck in 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy. See, Antony, that revels long at nights is notwithstanding up. Oh, good morrow, Antony.
So too, most noble Caesar.
Oh, bid them prepare within. I am to blame to be thus waited for. Good friends, go in, taste some wine with me, and we, like friends, will straightway go together.
I prithee, boy, run to the Senate house. Stay not to answer me, but get thee gone. Why dost thou stay?
To know my errand, madam.
Oh, I would have had thee there and here again ere I can tell thee what thou shouldst do there. Art thou here yet?
Madam, what should I do? Run to the capital and nothing else, and so return and nothing else?
Yes! Bring me word, boy, if thy lord look well, for he went sickly forth. And take good note what Caesar doth, what suitors press to him. Hark, boy, what noise is that?
I hear none, madam.
Oh, come hither, fellow. Which way hast thou been?
At my own house, good lady.
What is the clock?
The 9th hour, lady.
Has Caesar yet gone to the capital?
Madam, not yet. I go to take my stand, to see him pass on to the capital.
Thou hast some suit to Caesar, hast thou not?
That I have, lady, if it will please Caesar, to be so good to Caesar as to hear me. I shall beseech him to befriend himself.
Why? Knowest thou any harm intended toward him?
None that I know will be, much that I fear may chance.
I must go in. Oh, me, how weak a thing the heart of woman is. Oh, Brutus, the heavens speed thee in thine enterprise. Sure, the boy heard me. Brutus hath a suit that Caesar will not grant. Oh, I grow faint. Run, Lucius, and commend me to my lord. Say, I am merry. Come to me again, and bring me word what he doth say to thee.
The Ides of March are come.
Aye, Caesar, but not gone.
I wish your enterprise today may thrive.
What enterprise, Publius?
Fare you well.
What said Publius?
You wish today our enterprise may thrive. I fear we are discovered.
Look how he makes to Caesar. Mark him.
Casca, be sudden, for we fear prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius or Caesar never shall turn back, for I will slay myself.
Cassius be constant. He speaks not of our purposes, for look, he smiles, and Caesar doth not change.
Where is Metellus Cimber? Let him go, and presently prefer his suit to Caesar.
Casca, you are the first among us to raise your hand.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Metellus Cimber throws before thy seat a humble heart.
I must prevent thee, Cimber. These couchings and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men and turn preordinance and first decree into the law of children. Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Publius Cimber may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar, pardon. As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
Oh, I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and every one doth shine. But there's but one in all doth hold his place. No, I was constant Cimber should be banished, and constant do remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
Now hence, wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar.
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak hands for me.
Et tu, Brute? Then fall, Caesar.
Liberty. Freedom. Tyranny is dead! Run hence! Proclaim! Cry it about the streets!
Some to the common pulpits and cry out, liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement!
People and senators, be not affrighted, fly not, stand stiff, and if ambition's debt is paid.
Go to the pulpit, Brutus. And Cassius, too.
Oh, stand fast together, lest some friend of Caesar should chance to...
No talk not of standing!
And leave us, Publius, lest that the people rushing on us should do your age some mischief.
Do so, and let no man abide this deed but we, the doers.
Where is Antony?
Fled to his house, amazed. Men, wives, and children stare, cry out, and run as it were doomsday.
Yes, we shall know your pleasures, that we shall die, we know, but 'tis the time and drawing days out that men stand upon.
Why, he that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off 20 years of fearing death.
Grant that, and then is death a benefit. So are we Caesar's friends that have abridged his time of fearing death. Stoop, Romans, stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood up to the elbows, and besmear our swords. Then walk we forth, even to the marketplace, and waving our red weapons o'er our heads, let's all cry peace, freedom, and liberty.
Stoop then and wash. How many ages hence shall this, our lofty scene, be acted over in states unborn, and accents yet unknown?
How many times shall Caesar bleed in sport?
So oft shall it be, so often shall the knot of us be called the men that gave their country liberty.
Soft, who comes here? A friend of Antony's.
Thus, Brutus, did Mark Antony bid me kneel. Thus did Mark Antony bid me fall down. And being prostrate, thus he bade me say, Brutus is noble, wise, valiant, and honest. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say I love Brutus and honor him. Say I feared Caesar, honored him, and loved him. If Brutus will vouchsafe that Antony may safely come to him and be resolved how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death, Mark Antony shall not love Caesar dead so well as Brutus living, but will follow the fortunes and affairs of noble Brutus through the hazards of this untrod state with all true faiths. So says Mark Antony.
Oh, Antony is a wise and valiant Roman. I never thought him worse. Tell him, so please him come into this place, he shall be satisfied, and by mine honor depart untouched.
I will fetch him presently.
I know that we shall have him well to friend. Welcome, Mark Antony!
Oh, mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, no, nor instruments of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard now, whilst your purpled hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so, no mean of death as here, by Caesar, and by you cut off, the choice and master spirits of this age.
Oh, Antony, beg not your death of us. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel as by our hands, and this our present act you see we do, yet see you but our hands, and this the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you say not, they are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome, as fire drives out fire, so pity hath done this deed on Caesar. For your part, to you our swords have leaden points, Mark Antony.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus, will I shake with you. Next, Caius Cassius, do I take your hand? Now, Decius Brutus, yours. Now yours, Metellus. Yours, Cinna. And my valiant Casca, yours. Though last, not last in love, yours, good Trebonius. Gentlemen all. Alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me, either a coward or a flatterer. But I did love thee, Caesar. Oh, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death, to see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes, most noble in the presence of thy corpse?
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar will say this. Then in a friend it is cold modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends, or shall we on and not rely on you?
Therefore I shook your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends am I with you all, and love you all, upon this hope that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a savage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek. And am moreover suitor that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. Do not consent Antony should speak in his funeral. Know you how the people may be moved by that which he will utter.
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first, and show the reason of our Caesar's death. But Antony shall speak, I will protest he does by leave and by permission. It will advantage more than do us wrong.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, here, take you Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar. And say you do it by our permission, else shall you not have any hand at all about his funeral, and you shall speak into the same pulpit whereto I am going after my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers! Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds do I now prophesy. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered in the hands of war. All pity choked in custom of fell deeds. in Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell above the earth with carrion men groaning for burial. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?
I do, Mark Antony.
Caesar did right for him to come to Rome.
He did receive his letters and is coming, and bid me to say to you by word of mouth. Oh, Caesar!
Thy heart is big, get thee apart and weep. Passion I see is catching from mine eyes, seeing those beads of sorrow stand in thine, begin to water. Is Octavius coming?
He lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back with speed and tell him what hath chanced. Here is a morning Rome, a dangerous Rome, no Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Hie hence and tell him so. Yet, stay a while. Thou shalt not back till I have borne this corpse into the marketplace. Lend me your hand.
Oh, follow me and give me audience, friends.
The noble Bruce is ascended. Silence!
Be patient till the last. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses, that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any, speak. For him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak. For him have I offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any, speak. For him have I offended. I pause for a reply.
None, Brutus, none.
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart. Then, as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live, Brutus, live!
Bring him with triumph to the house of Caesar.
Give him a statue with his ancestors.
Let him be Caesar!
His better parts shall be crowned in Brutus.
We'll bring him to his house with shouts and clamor.
My countrymen.
Silence, Brutus speaks.
Peace. Oh.
Good countrymen, let me depart alone. And for my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. I do entreat you, not a man depart, save I alone, till Antony have spoke.
Stay. Oh, and let us hear Mark Antony.
For Brutus' sake, I am beholding to you.
What does he say of Brutus?
He says, for Brutus's sake, he finds himself beholding to us all.
To best, he speak no harm of Brutus here.
Please, let us hear what Antony can say.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives on after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you that Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He had brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept, ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet, Brutus says he was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that at the Lupercal. I did thrice present him with a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but I'm here to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Thinks there is much reason in his sayings.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong.
Has he, masters? I fear there will a worse come in his place.
Poor soul, his eyes are red with fire with weeping.
There's not a man nobler in Rome than Antony.
Now mark him. He begins again to speak.
But yesterday, the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him service. O masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But here's a parchment within the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let but the commons hear his testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. And they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds and dip their napkins in his sacred blood. Yea, beg a hair of him from memory, and dying mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
We'll hear the will. Read it, Mark Antony.
The will! We will hear Caesar's will!
Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. It is not meet you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stones, but men. And being men, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. 'Tis good you know not that you are his heirs, for if you should, oh, what would come of it?
Read the will. We'll hear it, Antony. You shall read us the will. Caesar's will.
Will you be patient? Will you stay a while? I have o'ershot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors, honorable men.
Will, the testament!
The will, read the testament.
They were villains, murderers. The will, read the will.
Will you compel me then to read the will? Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar, and let me show you him that made the will.
Stand from the hearse, stand from the body.
Room for Antony, most noble Antony.
Nay, press not so upon me. Stand far off.
Stand back, room. They're back.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. 'Twas in a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the nervy eye. Look, in this place ran Cassius' dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this the well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as rushing out of doors to be resolved. If Brutus so unkindly not or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stabbed, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him. Then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle, muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statua, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen. Then I, then you, then all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops. Kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here. Here is himself, marred, as you see, with traitors.
We will be revenged.
Let not a traitor live!
Stay, countrymen!
Peace. There, here's the noble Antony.
Hear him. We'll follow him. We'll die with him.
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not, that made them do it. They are wise and honorable and will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator as Brutus is, but as you all know me, a plain, blunt man that love my friend, and that they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny.
We'll mutiny.
We'll burn the house of Brutus.
Away then, come, seek the conspirators.
Yet hear me, countrymen, yet hear me speak.
So peace, here, Antony.
My friends, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then, you have forgot the will I told you of.
Most true, the will. Let's say and hear the will.
Here's the will. And under Caesar's seal, to every Roman, to every citizen, he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas.
Most noble Caesar will revenge his death.
Hear me with patience.
To peace, ho.
Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors, and new planted orchards on this side of Tiber. He hath left them to you and to your heirs forever, common pleasures to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another? Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt. How now, fellow?
Sir, Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He and Lepidus are already at Caesar's house.
And thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will give us anything.
I heard him say Brutus and Antony are rid like madmen through the gates of Rome.
Cassius? Be like they had some notice of the people, how I had moved them. Bring me to Octavius. These many then shall die, their names are pricked.
Your brother too must die. Consent you, Lepidus?
I do consent.
Prick him down, Antony.
Upon condition Publius shall not live, who is your sister's son, Mark Antony.
He shall not live. Look, with a spot I damn him. But, Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house, fetch the will hither, and we shall determine how to cut off some charge and legacies.
What, shall I find you here?
Or here, or at the Capitol.
Ugh. There is a slight unmeritable man, meet to be sent on errands. Is it fit, the threefold world divided, he should stand, one of the three to share it?
So you thought him and took his voice who should be pricked to die?
Octavius, I have seen more days than you, and though we lay these honors on this man to ease ourselves of diverse slanderous loads, he shall but bear them as the ass bears gold, to groan and sweat under the business, either led or driven, as we point the way. And having brought our treasures where we will, then take we down his load and turn him off.
You may do your will, but he is a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius. And for that, I do appoint him store of provender. It is a creature that I teach to fight, to wind, to stop, to run directly on, his corporal motion governed by my spirit. And in some taste is Lepidus but so. But now, Octavius, listen great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straight make head. Therefore, let our alliance be combined, and let us presently go sit in council, how covert matters may be best disclosed, and open perils surest answered.
Let us do so. For we are at the stake and bait about with many enemies. And some that smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs.
What now, Lucilius? Is Cassius near?
He is at hand, and Pindarus is come to do you salutation from his general.
He greets me well. Your general, Pindarus, in his own change, or by ill officers, hath given me some worthy cause to wish things done undone. But if he be at hand, I shall be satisfied.
I do not doubt but that my noble general will appear such as he is, full of regard and honor.
He is not doubted. A word, Lucilius? How he received you, let me be resolved.
With courtesy, and with respect enough, but not with such familiar instances, nor with such free and friendly conference as he hath used of old.
Thou hast described a hot friend cooling. Ever note, Lucilius, when love begins to sicken and decay, it useth an enforced ceremony.
Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Judge me, you gods, wrong I mine enemies? And if not so, how should I wrong a brother?
Brutus, this sober form of yours hides wrongs, and when you do them...
Cassius, be content. Speak your grief softly. I do know you well. Before the eyes of both our armies here, which should perceive nothing but love from us, let us not wrangle. Bid them move away. Then in my tent, Cassius, enlarge your griefs, and I will give you audience. Let Lucius and Titanius guard our door.
That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians, wherein my letters, praying on his side because I knew the man, were slighted off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
In such times as these, it is not meet that every nice offense should bear his comment.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and mart your offices for gold to undeservers.
I, an itching palm? You know that you are Brutus that speak this, or by the gods this speech were else your last.
The name of Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement?
Remember March? The Ides of March, remember? Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain touched his body that did stab and not for justice? What, shall one of us that struck the foremost man of all this world but for supporting robbers, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes and sell the mighty space of our large honors for so much trash as maybe grasp it thus? I had rather be a dog and bay the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus! Bay not me. I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I am a soldier. I, older in practice, abler than yourself to make conditions.
Go to, you are not, Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more. I shall forget myself. Have mind upon your health. Tempt me no further.
Away, slight man.
It's possible.
Hear me, for I will speak.
Oh,
must I give
gods.
way and room to your rash choler? Shall I be frighted when a madman stares?
Oh, ye gods, must I endure all this?
All this, I more fret till your proud heart break. Must I observe you? Or must I stand and crouch under your testy humor? By the gods, you shall digest the venom of your spleen, the which do split you for. From this day forth, I'll use you for my mirth, yea, for my laughter when you are waspish.
Is it come to this?
You say you are a better soldier? Let it appear so. Make your vaunting true. It shall please me well. For mine own part, I shall be glad to learn of noble men.
You wrong me every way. You wrong me, Brutus. I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I care not.
When Caesar lived, he durst not thus have moved me.
Peace, you durst not so have tempted him.
I durst not.
No.
What? Durst not tempt him?
For your life, you durst not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done it that you should be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats. For I am armed so strong in honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind, which I respect not. I did send to you for certain sums of gold, which you denied me. For I can raise no money by vile means. By heaven, I had rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmas than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their vile trash by any indirection. I did send to you for gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so? When Marcus Brutus grows so covetous to lock such rascal counters from his friends, be ready, gods, with all your thunderbolts, dash him to pieces!
I denied you not!
You did!
I did not. He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath rived my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not till you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye could never see such faults.
Flatterers would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony, and young Octavius, come. Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius, for Cassius is aweary of this world, hated by one he loves, braved by his brother, checked like a bondman, all his faults observed, set in a notebook, learned and conned by rote to cast into my teeth. Oh, I could weep my spirit from mine eyes. Here is my dagger, and here my naked breast, within a heart dearer than Plutus mine, richer than gold. If that thou beest a Roman, take it forth. I, that denied thee gold, will give my heart. Strike, as thou didst at Caesar, for I know, when thou didst hate him worst, thou lovest him better than ever thou lovest Cassius.
Sheath your dagger. Be angry when you will, it shall have scope. Do what you will, dishonor shall be humor. Oh, Cassius, you are yoked with a lamb that carries anger as the flint bears fire, who, much enforced, shows a hasty spark, and straight is cold again.
Had Cassius lived, to be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus when grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth him.
When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too.
Confess you so much. Give me your hand.
And my heart too.
Oh, Brutus.
What's the matter?
Have you not love enough to bear with me when that rash temper which my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius, and from henceforth, when you are over earnest with your Brutus, he'll think your mother chides and leave you so. Lucius, a bowl of wine.
I did not think you could be so angry.
Oh, Cassius, I am sick of many griefs.
Of your philosophy you make no use, if you give place to accidental evils.
No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Huh. Portia!
She is dead.
How scaped I killing when I crossed you so? Oh, insupportable and touching loss. Upon what cause?
Impatient of my absence and grief that young Octavius with Mark Antony have made themselves so strong, for with her death that tidings came. With this she fell distract, and her attendants absent swallowed fire.
And died so?
Even so.
Oh, ye immortal gods.
Speak no more of her. Give me a bowl of wine. In this, I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge.
Come in, Titanius. Welcome, good Masala. Now, sit me close about this taper here and call in question our necessities.
Portia, art thou gone?
No more, I pray you. Masala, I have here received letters that young Octavius and Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition toward Philippi. Good Masala?
Myself have letters of the self-same tenor.
With what addition? Cassius, hand me that letter therein. Oh, thank you. Here it is writ that by prescription and bills of outlawry, Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators. Therein, this letter and mine do not well agree. Mine speak of 70 senators that died by their prescriptions, Cicero being one.
Cicero one.
Cicero is dead, and by that order of prescription. Well, to our work alive. What do you think of marching to Philippi presently?
I think it not good.
Your reason?
This it is. 'Tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers, doing himself offense, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reasons must of force give place to better. The people twixt Philippi and this ground do stand but in a forced affection, for they have grudged us contribution. The enemy, marching along by them shall make a fuller number up. From which advantage shall we cut him off if at Philippi we do face him there, these people at our back?
Hear me, good brother.
Your pardon. You must note beside that we have tried the utmost of our friends. Our legions are brimful. Our cause is ripe. The enemy increaseth every day. We, at the height, are ready to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves, or lose our ventures.
Then with your will, go on. We'll along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
The deep of night is crept upon our talk, and nature must obey necessity. There is no more to say?
No more. Good night. Early tomorrow we will rise, and hence.
Lucius, my gown. Farewell, good Messala. Good night, Titanius. Noble Cassius. Good night. And good repose.
Oh, noble brother. This was an ill beginning of the night. Never come such division between our souls. Let it not, Brutus.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, good brother.
Good night, Lord Brutus.
Good night, Lord Brutus.
Farewell, everyone. Give me the gown. Where is thy instrument?
Oh, it's here in the tent.
What? Speak'st thou drowsily? Poor knave, I blame thee not, thou art o'erwatched. Look, Lucius, here's the book I sought for, so I put it in the pocket of my gown.
I was sure your lordship did not give it me.
Bear with me, good boy, I am much forgetful. Canst thou hold up thy heavy eyes a while and touch thy instrument a strain or two?
Why, my lord, and please you.
It does, my boy. I trouble thee too much, but thou art willing. I should not urge thy duty past thy might. I will not hold thee long. If I do live, I will be good to thee. Oh, murderous slumber! Lay'st thou thy leaden mace upon my boy? I will not do thee so much wrong as wake thee. Let me see. Is not the leaf turned down where I left reading? Oh, here it is, I think. Oh, how ill this taper burns. Huh? Who comes here? Art thou some god, some angel, or some devil that make my blood run cold and my hair to stare? Speak to me what thou art.
Thy evil spirit, Brutus.
Why comest thou?
To tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Well, then I shall see thee again.
Aye, at Philippi.
Well, I shall see thee at Philippi then. Now I have taken heart, thou vanishest. Ill spirit, I would hold more talk with thee. Boy, Lucius, awake.
My lord.
Go and commend me to my brother Cassius. Bid him set on his powers betimes before, and we will follow.
Now, Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep to the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here, answering before we do demand of them.
Tut, I am in their bosoms, and I know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit other places and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this face to fasten in our thoughts that they have courage, but 'tis not so.
Prepare you, generals. The enemy comes on a gallant show. Their bloody sign of battle is hung out, and something must be done immediately.
Octavius, lead your battle softly on upon the left hand of the even field.
Upon the right hand, I keep thou the left.
Why do you cross me in this exigent?
I do not cross you, but I will do so.
They stand and would have parley.
Mark Antony, shall we give the sign of battle?
No, Caesar. We will answer on their charge. Make forth. The generals would have some words.
Words before blows, is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better, as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live, hail Caesar!"
Antony! The quality of your blows are yet unknown, but for your words, they rob the hive bees and leave them honeyless.
Not stingless, too.
Oh, yes, and soundless, too. For you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely threat before you sting.
Villains! You did not so when your vile daggers hacked one another at the sides of Caesar, and showed your teeth like apes, and fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondsmen kissing Caesar's feet, while damned Casca, like a cur behind, struck Caesar in the neck. Oh, you flatterers!
Flatterers! Now, Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue had not so offended today if Cassius might have ruled.
Come! The cause. If arguing makes us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When think you that the sword goes up again? Never. Till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or till another Caesar have added slaughter to the sword of traitors.
Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands unless thou bringst them with thee.
So I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus's sword.
Oh, if thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou could not die more honorable.
A peevish schoolboy, worthless of such an honor, joined with a masker and a reveler.
Old Cassius still.
Come, Antony. Away. Defiance, traitors. Hurl we in your teeth.
Masala!
What says my general?
Masala, this is my birthday. As this very day was Cassius born. Give me thy hand, Masala. Be thou my witness that against my will, as Pompey was, am I compelled to set upon one battle all our liberties. You know I held Epicurus strong and his opinion. Now I change my mind, and partly credit things that do presage. Coming from Sardis, upon our former ensign, 2 mighty eagles fell, and there they perched, gorging and feeding from our soldiers' hands, who to Philippi here consorted us. This morning are they fled away and gone, and in their steads do ravens, crows, and kites fly o'er our heads and downward look on us, as we were some sickly prey. Their shadows seem a canopy most fatal, under which our army lies, ready to give up the ghost.
Believe not so.
I but believe it partly. Now, noble Brutus, the gods stand friendly that we may, lovers in peace, lead on our days to age. But since the affairs of men rest still uncertain, let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, then is this the last time we do speak together? What are you then prepared to do?
Even by the rule of that philosophy by which I did blame Cato for the death which he did give himself, I know not how, but I do find it cowardly and vile for fear of what might fall, so to prevent the time of life, arming myself with patience to stay the providence of some high powers that govern us below.
Then if we lose this battle, you are contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome?
No, Cassius, no, think not, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But the same day must end that work the ides of March begun, and whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever, farewell, Cassius. If we do meet again, why, we shall smile. If not, this parting was well made.
Forever and forever, farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we will smile. If not, 'tis true, this parting was well made.
Why then, lead on. Oh, that a man might know the end of this day's business ere it come. But it sufficeth that the day will end, and then the end is known. Come, home, away. Let let us set on at once, for I do perceive but cold demeanor in Octavius's wing, and sudden push gives them the overthrow. Ride, ride, Messala, let them all come down!
Oh, look, Titanius! Look! The villains fly! Myself up to mine own turned enemy! This ensign here of mine was turning back. I slew the coward and did take it from him.
Oh, Cassius, Brutus gave the word too early. Who, having some advantage on Octavius, took it too eagerly. His soldiers fell to spoil, whilst we by Antony are all enclosed.
Fly! Fly further off, my lord, fly further off. Mark Antony is in your tents. Fly, therefore, noble Cassius, fly far off!
This hill is far enough. Oh, look, Titanius. Are those my tents where I do perceive the fire?
They are, my lord.
Titanius, if thou lovest me, mount thou my horse, and hide thy spurs in him, till he have brought thee to yonder troops and here again, that I may rest assured whether yon troops are friend or enemy.
I will be here again, even with a thought.
Penderus, get thee higher on that hill. My sight was ever thick. Regard Titanius, and tell me what thou notest about the field. This day I breathed first. Time is come round. And where I did begin, there shall I end. My life has run his compass. Sirrah, what news?
Oh, my lord!
What news?
Titanius is enclosed all round about with horsemen. That makes to him on the spur, yet he spurs on. Now they are almost on him. No, Titanius, no! Oh, some light. He lights too. He's ta'en.
Come down, behold no more. Oh, coward that I am to have lived so long. Come hither, Sirrah. In Parthia did I take thee prisoner. Now be a freeman. And with this good sword, which did run through Caesar's bowels, search thou this bosom. Nay, stand not to answer. Take thou the hilts. And when my face is covered, as 'tis, guide thou the sword. Caesar, thou art revenged, even with the sword that killed thee.
So, I am free. Yet, would not so have been, durst I have done my will. Cassius! Far from this country shall Pindarus roam, where never Roman shall take note of him.
It is but changed, Titanius. For Octavius is overthrown by noble Brutus's power, as Cassius' legions are by Antony.
These tidings will well comfort Cassius.
Where did you leave him?
All disconsolate with Pindarus's bondmen here on this hill.
Is not that he that lies upon the ground?
He lies not like the living. Oh, my heart!
Is not that he?
No, this was he, Messala, but Cassius is no more. O setting sun, as in thy red rays thou dost sink tonight, so in his red blood Cassius's day is set. Mistrust of my success hath done this deed.
Mistrust of good success hath done this deed. O hateful error, melancholy's child! Why dost thou show to the apt thoughts of men the things that are not?
What? Pindarus! Where art thou, Pindarus?
Seek him, Titanius, whilst I go meet the noble Brutus, thrusting this report into his ears. I may say thrusting it, for piercing steel and darts and venom shall be as welcome to the ears of Brutus as tidings of this sight.
Hi, you, Messala, and I will seek for Pindarus the while. Why didst thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything. But hold thee. Take this garland upon thy brow. Thy Brutus bid me give it thee, and I will do his bidding. Brutus, come apace and see how I regarded Caius Cassius. By your leave, gods. This is a Roman's part. Come, Cassius' sword, and find Titanius' heart.
Where, Messala, doth his body lie?
Lo, yonder, and Titanius mourning it.
Titanius' face is upward.
He's slain.
Oh, Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet! Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords in our own proper entrails.
Brave Titanius, look whether he hath crowned dead Cassius.
Are yet 2 Romans living such as these? The last of all the Romans. Fare thee well. It is impossible that ever Rome should breed thy fellow. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I will find time. Cassius, I will find time. Lucilius, come, and come, young Cato, let us to the field. Labio and Flavius set our battles on. 'Tis 3 o'clock, and Romans, yet ere night, we shall try fortune in a second fight.
Yield, or thou diest.
Only I yield to die. There is so much that thou wilt kill me straight. Kill Brutus, and be honored in his death.
We must not. A noble prisoner.
Brimho! Tell Antony Brutus is ta'en.
I'll tell the news. Here comes the general. Brutus is ta'en. Brutus is ta'en, my lord.
Where is he?
Safe, Antony. Brutus is safe enough. I dare assure thee that no enemy shall ever take alive the noble Brutus. When you do find him, or alive or dead, he will be found like Brutus, like himself.
This is not Brutus, friend, but I assure you a prize no less in worth. Keep this man safe, give him all kindness. I'd rather have such men my friends than enemies. Go on and see whether Brutus be alive or dead, and bring us word unto Octavius' tent everything that is chanced.
Come, poor remains of friends, rest on this rock.
Titanius showed the torchlight, but my lord, he came not back. He is or ta'en or slain.
Sit thee down, Clitus. Slaying is the word. It is a deed in fashion. Hark thee, Clitus.
What? I, my lord? No, not for all the world.
Peace, then, no words.
I'd rather kill myself.
Hark thee, Dardanius.
Shall I do such a deed?
Oh, Dardanius.
Oh, Clitus.
What ill request did Brutus make to thee?
To kill him, Clitus. Look, he meditates.
Now is that noble vessel full of grief that runs over, even at his eyes.
2 several times by night, at Sardis once, and here, in Philippi field. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, I am sure it is, Dardanius. Our enemies have beaten us to the pit. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Good Dardanius, hold thou my sword hilt whilst I run on it.
That is not an office for a friend, my lord.
Fly, my lord. There's no tarrying here.
Farewell to you, and you, and you, Dardanius. Strato, thou hast been all this while asleep. Farewell to thee too, Strato. Countrymen, my heart doth joy that yet in all my life I found no man but he was true to me. I shall have glory by this losing day, more than Octavius and Mark Antony by this vile conquest shall attain unto. So, very well, at once. For Brutus's tongue hath almost ended his life's history. Night hangs upon mine eyes, my bones would rest, that have but labored to attain this hour.
Fly, my lord, fly.
Hence, I will follow. I prithee, Strato, stay thou by thy lord. Thou art a fellow of a good respect. Thy life hath had some smatch of honor in it. Hold then my sword, and turn away thy face while I run on it. Wilt thou, Strato?
Give me your hand first. Very well, my lord.
Farewell, good Strato. Caesar, now be still. I killed not thee with half so good a will.
What man is that?
The general's man. Strato, where is the general?
Free from the bondage era in Masala. The conquerors can make but fire of him, for Brutus only overcame himself, and no man hath honor by his death.
So Brutus should be found. I thank thee, Brutus, that thou hast proved Lucilius' saying true.
All that served Brutus, I will entertain them. Fellow, wilt thou bestow thy time with me?
Aye, if Masala will prefer me to you.
Do so, good Masala.
How died the general, Strato?
I held the sword, and he did run on it.
Octavius, take him to follow thee that did the latest service to the general.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He only, in a general, honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtue, let us use him with all respect and rites of burial. Within my tent his bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So call the field to rest, and let's away to part the glories of this happy day.
All right.